In this specific video, you're going to learn how to speed up your WordPress site by using caching. If you can imagine for a moment here, if somebody goes to your website, normally it takes some time to load your website because their computer browser has to download your images and your site. So caching basically helps speed up the experience. We're going to be using a specific plugin here called the W3 Total Cache plugin. So what I want you to do is go to the plugins section and click on Add New. And type in the search box W3 Total Cache. And click on Search Plugins. And this is the one right here. So we're going to click on Install, click on OK. We're going to enter our FTP username and password, click on Proceed, and click on Activate. And that's it. Now, some of you will run into errors at the very top depending on your WordPress file permissions. And as you can see here, it asks me to change the permissions of the WP-content folder. So what I need to do is just log into my FileZilla FTP program. What I need to do next is to find that folder, which is under the /funnytshirts2. And I'm going to right click WP-content and change the file permissions from 755 to 777. Now you're going to want to change these permissions back later on. And then I want to go back here, click on Reactivate Plugin. And as we can see here, the plugin has been activated. Now you're going to see the configuration settings for the W3 Total Cache is this icon here. So we're going to click on this. And in order to fully install the specific plugin, there are several things that you're going to need to do to your htaccess file. So it tells us exactly what to do, and I'm going to show you step by step. As you can see, it says Disk Enhanced Page Caching is not active. To enable it, add the following rules into the server configuration file. Now, in order to do this, you will need to change the file permissions of your .htaccess file. So I need to go to my FileZilla FTP program and simply find the .htaccess file, which is located directly in the root directory of where you save the WordPress files. So I'm going to right-click .htaccess, click on File Permissions, and change the permissions to 777. Click on OK. I'm going to go back to WordPress, do the auto install again. Page cache rewrite rules have been written. So these are successful. And then the next thing, it says browser caching is not active. To enable it, click on auto install. So great, we were able to do that. And as you can see here, it was successful, so we can click on the Hide This Message button. Now I can begin to edit the configuration settings. So I'm going to walk you through step by step. If you click on the general link here, now for the most part, I'm going to leave most of the configurations set by default. Under the Minify section, you will notice that it says this section helps reduce load time by decreasing the size and number of CSS and JavaScript files. It automatically removes unnecessary data from the CSS, JavaScript, feed, page, and post HTML. Now, if you have a large amount of HTML files and CSS files, then you might want to click Enable. However, if you have a fairly small site, then I would just leave this by default, because it's really not going to make a huge amount of difference. So I'm going to leave that as it is. The database cache enables database caching to reduce post, page, and feed creation time. So if you know anything about WordPress, you'll know that WordPress communicates a lot with its database. For example, the posts, the pages, and the feeds are inputted into the database. So if you want to speed it up, you can click Enable. But as you can see here, it says best used if the object caching is not possible. So for example, right below database caching is object caching. And if this is not possible, then you want to enable the database cache. And then we have browser caching. And what this does is it reduces the server load and decreases response time by using the cache available in the site's visitor's web browser. And we're going to skip this. We're going to skip the varnish section and the network performance section because most of those deal with third-party systems unless you want to actually use it. Cloudflare is actually a great way to speed up your site, but it's definitely third-party. And if you scroll down to the bottom here, the miscellaneous section here, and we're going to leave everything else by default, and you can change this for advanced users. I'm going to go ahead and click on Save All Settings. And after you click on Save All Settings, remember you're going to need to disable the preview mode. So at the very top here, simply click on Disable Preview Mode. So in other words, we can activate the W3 Total Cache. And that's it. So if we go to the main site here, and there we go. So as you can see, the site definitely runs a little bit faster and will definitely help with the user experience for your prospects and your customers.